People often say that if you want to find yourself, go somewhere quiet, like a monastery tucked away in the mountains. But what if even that place is filled with noise, gossip, and division? What if the peace you're searching for is buried beneath layers of ego, politics, and spiritual performance? Can you still find clarity in a place labeled peaceful when that label has been used to mask inner chaos? That's exactly where Eli Walker's story begins. A young American seeking stillness, Eli arrived at a monastery expecting tranquility, only to discover a different kind of hell, one cloaked in the language of enlightenment. The monastery was called Silent Cloud, a name that sounded like it promised calm and clarity. But there was nothing truly silent about it. The monastery was filled with spiritual trainees from all over the world, some escaping burnout, some just out of rehab, and some chasing a curated Zen aesthetic for their Instagram feed. With this diversity came hidden tensions, subtle power struggles, whispers behind backs, favoritism towards senior trainees, and cliques that gossiped about anyone new. Everything Eli had been trying to escape from in the outside world, judgment, manipulation, competition, was alive and well in the very place he thought would heal him. Then one day, after overhearing the lead meditation teacher make a sarcastic comment about another student right after a group sit, Eli hit his breaking point. Disillusioned, he knocked on the abbot's door. His voice was shaky, his eyes tired. "I don't think this is the place for me," he said. "This isn't what I came looking for." The abbot, an elderly man with sharp, fire-lit eyes, didn't argue. He didn't defend the monastery or try to convince Eli to stay. He simply handed Eli a glass of water, filled to the brim, and said, "Before you leave, do just one thing. Take this glass and walk a full lap around the monastery. Don't spill a single drop." Eli hesitated. He wasn't sure what kind of spiritual game this was, but out of courtesy, he nodded and accepted the challenge. So began the walk. As soon as he stepped out, he was met with the familiar energy. The whispered chatter of trainees, sharp glances, and the performative clanking of bells from a student who had mocked another earlier that day. At first, Eli felt the anger rise in him, the way it always did when he felt disrespected or misunderstood. But after just a few steps, noticing the water already sloshing near the rim, he realized something. If he let his focus drift toward the distractions around him, he'd fail the one thing he'd been asked to do. So he slowed his pace. Every step became deliberate, every breath synced with his heartbeat. The noise didn't go away. He could still hear laughter, snide remarks, even mockery directed at him. But Eli didn't react. He didn't look up. He didn't respond. Almost an hour passed, and when he returned to the abbot's room, the glass was still full. Not a single drop spilled. The abbot didn't smile. He didn't applaud. He simply asked, "Did you hear people talking? See any false behavior?" Eli nodded. "Of course, but I couldn't let myself focus on them. If I had, I would have spilled the water." The abbot looked at him with calm eyes and replied, "Then you understand. You can live in a noisy, chaotic world without letting it disturb your own stillness." Eli's story, and that fragile glass of water, isn't just a lesson in mindfulness. It's a mirror reflecting how we navigate a world full of chaos and distraction. That glass, seemingly insignificant, carries deep meaning. It represents our focus, our inner peace, and our ability to remain grounded amidst the storm. And to truly grasp its message, we have to unpack each layer. Eli's mistaken expectations, the nature of the challenge, and the universal truth it reveals about staying steady in a world that never stops shaking. Eli came to the Silent Cloud Monastery with the hope of finding a place untouched by the stress and dysfunction of modern life. This is a common hope in today's world. We often idealize retreats, nature getaways, and digital detoxes as if they alone will restore us. We believe that if we just go somewhere pure, we'll automatically become better, calmer, wiser. But Eli's experience reveals the truth. There is no place that is completely serene. Even in the monastery, human chaos followed, because people carry their storms with them. Whether it's a spiritual center or a startup office, the drama of the human condition comes along for the ride. Real peace, then, doesn't come from location. It's not a product of the environment. It's a state of mind. Eli initially thought peace was the absence of conflict, but over time he realized that peace is the ability to maintain calm in spite of conflict. It's like a ship in a storm, not needing calm seas, but the strength to stay upright. The story invites us to give up the fantasy that some perfect place will fix us. Instead, we're challenged to build peace from the inside out by choosing how we respond to everything around us. That glass of water the abbot gave Eli wasn't just a physical task. It was a profound metaphor for presence and clarity. In today's world, we are constantly pulled in every direction by notifications, headlines, judgment, and even our own inner critic. Each day, we're carrying invisible glasses filled with things that matter deeply: our work, our values, our kindness, our integrity. And yet we spill from those glasses all the time. Whenever we get caught up in gossip, triggered by an insult, or distracted by things that don't deserve our energy. A negative comment online, a backhanded compliment, a moment of misunderstanding, any of these can cause us to tip over and lose our balance. The lesson? Protect your glass. Whatever you're carrying, your vision, your peace, your values, treat it as sacred. Not because the world will get quieter, or kinder, or more understanding, but because you have the power to hold steady even when it doesn't. Eli's challenge was to keep the glass of water steady while walking through a storm of whispers, judgmental glances, and mocking comments. To do that, he had to learn how to control his mind, manage his emotions, and fully focus on the task in front of him. That's what mindfulness truly is, the ability to anchor your attention in the present moment without getting pulled into the noise around you. In real life, we all have our own glass of water to protect, our sense of focus, our core values, our peace of mind, and we must learn not to let criticism, social pressure, or toxic competition make us spill what truly matters. As the abbot implied, focus is a form of power. It allows us to stay grounded in who we are, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. One of the deepest lessons from Eli's story is that peace doesn't come from avoiding chaos. It comes from learning to stand still within it. At first, Eli wanted to leave the monastery because he believed it wasn't spiritual enough to help him find himself. But through the challenge of the water glass, the abbot showed him that the problem wasn't the monastery, it was how Eli responded to what was happening around him. If he kept searching for a perfect place, he would forever be running, from one temple to another, one job to another, one relationship to another. True peace requires inner strength. It's not the absence of noise, it's the presence of clarity. Think about someone working in a cutthroat office environment, surrounded by competition and favoritism. If that person only complains or looks for an exit, they'll carry their anxiety with them wherever they go. But if they learn to focus on their work, stay true to their values, and refuse to be shaken by negativity, they'll find peace, even in a toxic space. Eli's story reminds us that peace is a choice, the choice to hold our glass steady, no matter how hard the wind blows. This story also challenges a common belief, that it's the world's job to make us better. Eli came to Silent Cloud with the expectation that the monastery would heal him, that it would somehow make him more peaceful. But he quickly realized that even a temple can be full of gossip, ego, and pretense. And that reflects a broader truth. We often blame our environment, our jobs, schools, families, or society, when we fall short of the life we want. The abbot, by refusing to defend the monastery or blame Eli, revealed something powerful. The world is not responsible for your growth. A perfect environment doesn't exist. Even so-called sacred spaces are filled with imperfect people carrying their own wounds, biases, and flaws. Instead of waiting for the world to get better, we must learn to grow stronger from within. Eli didn't stay at the monastery because the place changed. He stayed because he changed. He learned how to live without letting negativity take hold of him. That's what true maturity looks like. Not when you expect the world to accommodate you, but when you train yourself to navigate the world with grace and resilience. After the water glass challenge, Eli chose to remain at the monastery for another 3 months, not to pursue enlightenment or find his path, but to live simply. He meditated, did manual chores, read books, and avoided the drama. What stood out was that his silence gradually earned the respect of others. But more importantly, Eli no longer needed that respect. He had discovered a deeper form of freedom, the freedom from needing to react, to explain himself, to prove anything. His quiet presence was a powerful lesson in today's noisy world, where we often feel compelled to respond to every comment, every slight, every misunderstanding. Social media, with its endless arguments and instant opinions, is the perfect example. Every time someone says something negative, we feel the urge to clap back or defend our reputation. But each time we do, we spill a little water from our own glass, our energy, our focus, our peace. As Eli learned, silence is not weakness, it's strength. It's the strength to choose not to engage with what doesn't serve you, and instead protect what truly matters. Eli's story is not a romanticization of monastic life, nor is it a criticism of imperfect environments. It's a reminder for anyone who has ever lived in a space filled with negativity, whether it's a workplace, a school, a family, or even just online. The central question isn't, how do I escape toxic places? Or, how can I fix everything around me? The question is, how can I hold my glass without spilling, even when others are trying to knock it over? Each of us carries an invisible glass of focus, kindness, passion, integrity, or peace, and life will keep testing us through offhand comments, unfair treatment, unspoken expectations, and emotional pressure. But we get to decide how we move. We can walk slowly, deliberately, with our attention fully grounded in who we are and what we care about. When you live like you're carrying a full glass, you stop looking sideways to compare, argue, or chase approval. And in that moment, you step into true inner freedom, the kind of peace that holds steady in a world that has never been still. Eli's journey teaches us that peace is not something you find in a faraway place. It's something you build right where you are by holding steady to what matters most. Whether you're in a monastery, a crowded office, or your own living room, learn to walk with intention and stillness. Because once you can do that, no storm can take away the calm you've built inside. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next video.